Hello. So I just wanted to talk about my whole sim racing experience here and just how I've gotten into this whole thing and kind of from where it all started, the whole backstory of why I love racing so much, and now basically to what we're at here with this rig that I'm truthfully just extremely proud of, and that's why I wanted to share it. So backstory, I was born in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico was like a huge, I think Mecca, I guess, or just like a huge place for motorsport. I think much more than here in Miami now. At least back in the day for go-karting, it was huge, and it was my life back then. And it was, like I've told people, I don't think I had a very typical childhood, playing sports or hanging out with a lot of friends on the weekends, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was at a racetrack. It was, typical practice, qualifying, and then, a race on the weekends or multiple races on the weekends. And my life just revolved around that. So that's where the whole racing thing came to be. When we left, moved to Miami, and it just became, it was a totally different environment. Back then, karting wasn't nearly as safe as it was in Puerto Rico with the tracks that we had over there, and it was just becoming outrageously expensive. I mean, racing is a very expensive sport as it is, so it was something that we certainly couldn't keep up. We had just moved here to the United States, and of course something like that wasn't a priority by any means at that time. Fast forward to, I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old when we moved here. Then I would say about 8 years after that, about 8 years after that, right when I started driving, that was the first time I went out and got a credit card, and I guess just did typical things that somebody with that level of maturity would do with a credit card, and went out, bought a PS3, bought F1 2012, and I started just playing with that with the controller, and it was just more about I'm pretend driving a Formula One car, and the noises and then the super fast shifting and being able to turn super quickly. That was what it was all about. So fast forward to now, where people are, specifically with iRacing, 2 days ago, iRacing is just now being televised, and that was incredibly exciting just because it's almost validated what I've been trying to do. And what I've done now is, with a lot of pieces that I just had laying around, and of course I've been able to gather amazing equipment because of my business. I've been very fortunate that things have gone well on that side, and I've created this amount of equipment that has allowed me to create this. So from there, what I'm trying to do now is just take my somewhat of a talent that I think I have in driving, put it to use on this platform where, iRacing is giving people tons of opportunities, people that have a significant amount of talent, people to go out there and drive on a simulator and be able to race against other people. And it's almost the exact same feeling that I've had on track while I was karting. And it's about the competitiveness, and I've found myself for the last 20 years or so not really being competitive in any way, until I've realized that I have this ability now to be competitive again, and be competitive in a setting that works for me and my personality and who I am as a person. So now I've been able to build this setup again with parts that I just had laying around, and trying to just, again, create my little environment here. This is almost like therapy to me. I can come in here early in the morning, anytime during the day, and it's amazing to be able to just get a race in. You get that feeling, and then you get this whole kind of, to me, it's like a whole ASMR experience. Just sometimes going through corners and being able to get the shifting right. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful feeling getting that right. And it's just kind of something that I've always wanted to do is just continue to feel that. And that's kind of like where this whole thing came from, this whole a sim racing experience. It was just my take on ASMR. It's such a huge ASMR thing to me, and my sister was the first one that kind of brought me onto this ASMR term, and from there a whole lot of things started making sense, and just one thing after another I started thinking of ASMR, and I've always had that in my mind, and started noticing that kind of the acronym could also work somewhere in sim racing. So that's where a sim racing experience came from. And a whole lot of what I do here, it's video production and photography. Most of my business is geared towards the food industry. That's why you see food pictures here. I'm a chef as well, so I've been a chef now for 12, 13 years, and decided that the kitchen in a restaurant setting certainly was not for me. Did not want to be behind a stove, 12 to 16 hours a day. And I've always loved photography and cameras. I've been doing that far before I started cooking. So I kind of always followed that everywhere I went, every job I had, all of my kitchen jobs. It was always something that I wanted to do, was just play with cameras and create beautiful shots. I think we all see the world in a specific way, and I just wanted to be able to take my vision, pair that with some really cool music, and be able to see it on camera. And just my personality, I don't go out much. That's why I have this. That's why I've kind of spent the money and invested in this, because this is what gives me the most pleasure. If I'm not working, I'm usually here, and I don't really go out a whole lot. So this is kind of like where I come from, where I go when I want to get out of my workspace and get out of my work mind and just come here and disconnect. So this is, I think, going to be a pretty cool experience, I hope. Just got the Class C license in iRacing, so just kind of having fun right now with the 911 Cup, and I just keep messing around in different classes, trying to stick mainly to GT3. My ultimate goal with that is to get to series where I can run the LMP1 and eventually get up to that FW31, I think it was, the Williams Formula One car. Formula One's the top of the line for me. Always has been. I've been watching Formula One, as boring as it kind of is sometimes. I've been watching Formula One since I could remember, back in Puerto Rico with my dad. So still to this day, I watch it and I follow it, and that's really the kind of driving that I really enjoy most, is being able to go fast and just being able to get into that rhythm at that kind of speed. It's an amazing thing. So really looking forward to sharing that with as many people as I can, I guess. Would be great to make some new friends through this platform. It's another amazing platform that's connected a lot of people, so just hoping that I can get a part of that.